It's interesting. I read the work of Dr. Martin Seligman, who's an eminent social psychologist, and he believes that we shouldn't be called Homo sapiens. He believes that we should be called Homo prospectus, which is to say, the only sentient being that can live in the future. I mean, not physically in the future, but that doesn't matter. That's the least of it. We can live cognitively in the future. And he says that we do. He says that the average person spends 30 to 50% of her or his time thinking about the future. And I bet that if we actually got the truth serum into a lot of the go-getters that are taking this class, there's more like 80%. They're just thinking about the future all the time, which has all kinds of problems attached to it. I mean, if you're thinking about the future all the time, you're not here now. And ironically, when you're doing things thinking about the future, like taking pictures on vacation, you're thinking about enjoying them in the future by thinking about the past, which ironically completely rules out the possibility of enjoying anything in the present moment. And you can kind of miss your life. It's the weirdest thing. But the prospective nature of humanity also makes it possible for us to plan. We can plan, family life. We can plan business. We can plan what I'm going to do today. I'm going to write a shopping list, and so I can plan out what I'm going to get from the supermarket. But I'd also like to be able to plan out the things I'm going to do with my life that give me the greatest likelihood of success. So when you're talking to someone, a young person, for example, what are the plans that they should make that give them the highest likelihood of success? By success, I mean happiness, as you know.
Yeah. One of the things that is a huge contrast is that many people think and project what their life will be like if they make a certain choice. Oh, should I get that job or that job? Should I create this startup or this startup? And one of the things that's actually more powerful is a reflective process. Instead of thinking, what will it be like for me in the future, to think, where do I feel the most pleasure? What are the things that bring me joy? And how do I have those in my life? And so this process of visualizing yourself in your future, I sometimes actually ask people, if you weren't working, if work wasn't part of it, your career and work and what you do for a living is taken out of the equation, where do you feel the most happy and what are you doing? And this is a challenging practice because we are so conditioned and wired to be constantly thinking about how are we going to serve? What are we going to provide for the world? And if we take that out of the equation, it almost gives us like this nakedness of, oh my gosh, these things that I think are really important to me actually matter because the other stuff isn't there. And those places are the priority for that process. And it's in the moment with yourself.
But most people in modern society, they have a lot of choice. And you've been, in all of our conversations, you've been giving a very empowering message. What's really important about the way that you see the world and the way that you counsel people is that you tell people they have a lot more control than they thought they did. And this is a perfect example, right? It's time to choose, no matter where you are in your life, which fork in the road you're going to take. Are you going to take the worldly rewards fork, where your happiness might be sacrificed? Or are you going to take the happy path, which will have some worldly rewards, but it won't be about the worldly rewards. It'll be about the intrinsic things, the faith, the family, the friendship, the work where you serve other people as opposed to getting the worldly glory. That can actually give you the most enduring happiness. It's up to us, isn't it?
Yeah. And one of the things that comes to mind is a little bit of this fear. What will happen to me if I choose the other path? Like what identity has to die? And it can be scary to think, oh my gosh, my academic achievement isn't actually the thing that's going to bring me happiness, my accolades. And it is a process of seeing that you don't have to lose part of you to choose happiness, that actually you get yourself back.